Assalamualaikum and good day to Dr. Rose Melissa. My name is Siti Noramira Binti Mohammad Fikri and my matrix number is 24102059. Today, my group, together with Sabinah, Afiqah and also Aina Athirah will present about the case study of the employee engagement and talent retention in the hybrid work area. And we are focusing on the challenges in managing the white-collar professional. In this case study, we are going to analyze the relationship or connection between the employee engagement and also the talent retention in the hybrid era. Today, we are in a post-pandemic which is called as Great Re-Evolution. Traditional pay-driven retention strategies are no longer working. Grounded in the social exchange theory, our paper looks at how organizational support shifts us towards transactional retention to a relation retention. Ultimately, our finding will reveal that the single strongest predictor of keeping our top talent today is having a robust talent development. The background of the topics is first in terms of the paradigm shift. Corporate space have permanently shifted from traditional office setup to a permanent hybrid work era for the white-collar professional. This flexibility benefit can help to reduce the employee turnover without hurting any operational productivities. It can also help to boost a work-life balance and remove commuting stress. However, with this situation, it creates new challenges. First challenges is remote work, fatigue, and also digital overload. The next, the employee might mix up the personal and also the professional life. The third challenges is intense psychological isolation and a drop in the natural workplace motivation. And lastly, the rise of proximity bias. On-site employee might be favored by the leaders for their own career growth. To help to reduce this particular problem, the organizational must replace outdated practice with a modern, trust-based talent retention model to keep top professionals interact between each other. To address those gaps, our paper will focus on 4 core objectives regarding the white-collar professional. First is to identify the structural and also psychological challenge which is threatening the hybrid engagement. Secondly, to analyze the direct link between organizational culture and also the turnover retention. Thirdly is to explore how leadership style and HR can help to reduce the gap between employee flexibility and also the long-term retention. Last but not least is to formulate the actionable, evidence-based recommendation for the organization. Let's have a quick look on our scope and the roadmap of our case study. Our case study focuses on the white-collar sector whereby their replacement costs are the highest. So this paper has been structured into 5 parts. First is the introduction. We will state the economic state of the retention. Next, the literature review grounded in the social exchange theory, psychological contract, Hasberg two-factory theory and also job demand resources theory. The third is a deep dive analysis into the modern retention drivers. Fourth, concrete recommendation to cover work-life integration, continuous learning and also inclusive work styles. And last but not least, a conclusion to highlight the future-ready framework.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a good day to everyone. I'm Sabinah Binti Hassan. My matric ID is 2320260. So I will be covering on the literature review section on our topic today, employee engagement and talent retention in the hybrid work era, particularly among the white-collar professionals. So, the key issues most of the organizations are facing today are the increased talent mobility among white-collar professionals, growing competition for talent, especially for the high-skilled employees, changes in the employee expectations, and also greater access to the job opportunities. So, as a result, retaining talented employees has become increasingly difficult. This lead to the key question of this study. Why do highly engaged employees still choose to leave their organizations? So, to answer these questions, 4 theories were reviewed under this section. First will be on the social exchange theory, followed by psychological contract theory, Herzberg two-factor theory, and also the job demands resources model. So, under the social exchange theory, Blau suggests that employees tend to reciprocate or respond the treatment they receive from the organizations. So, when employees feel supported, recognized, and treated fairly, they become more engaged and loyal. However, when support from the organization is lacking, their commitment decreases and turnover intention may increase. So the second theory will be under the psychological contract theory by Rousseau, where this theory focuses on the unwritten expectations between employees and employers. In today's hybrid work environment, employees actually expecting for flexibility, trust, career development, and also work-life balance. When these expectations are not fulfilled, employees may perceive a psychological contract breach, which can reduce commitment and increase the likelihood of leaving the organization. While under the third theory, Herzberg's two-factor theory by Herzberg et al., according to Herzberg, employee satisfaction is influenced by two categories of factors. The first is motivators such as achievement, recognition, responsibility, and also career advancement. The second one is the hygiene factors. This one will be on the job security, salary, fair company policies, and also supportive working conditions. So, hygiene factors is not something that motivates employees to perform better, but rather something that prevents them from becoming dissatisfied. This theory suggests that employee engagement alone is not enough. Organization must manage both motivators and hygiene factors to improve long-term retention. So the fourth one will be on the job demands and resources model, or known as JDR model by Barker and Demarotti. Under this model, it explains that how employees' engagement and retentions are influenced by both job demands and resources. So, in a hybrid work environment, job demands may include excessive virtual meetings and emails, pressure to remain available after working hours, unclear job expectations and responsibilities, and difficulty in separating work and personal life. While for the job resources, it focuses on flexible working arrangements, freedom in managing tasks and schedules, supportive leadership and guidance, and also regular feedback and recognitions. So this model actually suggests that when job demands become excessive and resources are insufficient, employees may experience burnout and eventually develop an intention to leave the organizations. Therefore, under this literature review, all four theories are integrated into one framework. Together, these four theories play an important role in talent retentions. Social exchange theory, it explains on how organization supports, promotes loyalty. Psychological contract theory, it touches on fulfillment of expectations, strengthens the commitment. Herzberg theory, it covers on motivation and satisfaction, influence, retention, and the final one, JDR model, it covers on how balance of demands and resources prevents burnout. So the integrated framework highlights what is known as the retention paradox. Employees may highly engaged, productive, and committed to their work, yet they still choose to leave the organization. This can occur due to the psychological contract breach, burnout, lack of trust and support, limited career growth opportunities, or more attractive external job opportunities. So, the key takeaways from this literature review is that employee engagement is important, but it does not automatically guarantee talent retentions. So to achieve sustainable retention, organization must provide strong organizational support, fulfill employee expectation, offer career development opportunities, maintain a healthy balance between job demands and resources, and prioritize employee well-being. So in conclusion, in the hybrid work era, organization need to go beyond employee engagement and focus on creating a supportive, trustworthy, and sustainable work environment to retain talented white-collar professionals. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Afiqah Binti Mohammad Noor. My matrix number is 24102-481. So today I will cover my part is in the critical decisions of our topic, which is employee engagement and talent retention in the hybrid work era. First of all, the rise of the hybrid working arrangement has been more complicated to engage the employee, especially those who are operate in professional field that require minimal physical presence and focus more on the knowledge sharing. So this engagement may be considered in terms of the amount of emotional investments, interest and excitement an employee brings in regarding his or her organizations and organizational goals. So in this hybrid workplace, traditional indicators of engagement such as attendance at the workplace and also the active supervision will no longer be considered valid. So the main issue will be ensuring that there is reduced socializations. In the traditional workplace, individuals engage in socialization through informal interactions such as talking and also working together in the group. Those who work from home under hybrid working conditions can have less opportunity for such interactions. So, explanations of the problem using SAT, which is Social Exchange Theory, the above mentioned problem can be explained by means of SAT, which claims that engagement and commitment of an employee is based on the mutual relationship between an employee and the organization. The last significant issue to address is the issue related to the engagement assessment. The manager will probably unconsciously connect productivity with presence in the office and will develop a prejudice against employees who do not attend work in person because of the assumption that they are not as dedicated to the job, even though they will perform well. So such a prejudice will have negative impact of the employee motivation and affect the level of their engagement. This solution relates to the psychological contact theory, where the focus is on the informal agreements between the employer and also the employee. The expectation of the fair assessment, trust and also the acknowledgement exists irrespective of whether the employee work from home or in the office. So in this case, the employer value visibility more than the performance, that there could be a violation of the psychological contract. Finally, there is a potential fear of career stasis in the hybrid work. The remote worker may believe that he or she has fewer opportunity for upgrade mobility, network expansion, and also the career development than the worker who comes to the office regularly. Whether true or not, this perception can have an enormous impact on the decision to leave the organization. A related phenomenon is that of silent attrition, where the worker remains employed but it is disengaged psychologically. Such individuals do just enough to get by and have little commitment to organizational goals. So right now, I would like to talk about the application. First of all is Microsoft. Microsoft seems to be leading the way when it comes to studying hybrid work through its own internal documentation such as Work Trend Index. Google used the hybrid strategy that necessitates that workers be present physically for several days each week. According to the organization, face-to-face collaboration among colleagues is crucial for innovation within the company and help maintain its culture. Within this organization, several trends are evident. Firstly, flexibility plays an important role as far as retention is concerned, but it must be complemented by means that can help improve engagement. Technological solutions alone cannot solve the engagement challenges, as leadership and culture play a similar part here. Another trend refers to the persisting managerial bias, particularly in relation to the hybrid system of assessment. Employees' expectations have changed in a more persistent manner, making organizational approach to work models reconsider. This example confirms that a hybrid working model cannot be a solution. Its effectiveness depends on how effectively it fits the employee needs. Last but not least, I would like to talk about the evaluations. So firstly, flexible work practice have been found to be an important approach in retaining employees. So some researchers have confirmed that hybrid work remains a foundation of the modern work environment, particularly in attracting and retaining talent. However, the effectiveness of flexibility depends on the way it is implemented. So, secondly, many organizations are adopting a performance management system that focuses on result. This system fits in well with hybrid work since it focuses more on result rather than the presence of the office. Next, one important finding from the research is that telecommuter can exhibit a high degree of engagement while at the same time being more likely to leave their positions. Evidence suggests that while remote workers report higher engagement, they are also more likely to consider looking for new job opportunities. The new type of stress that have come about due to hybrid working included the digital executions and blurred lines between work and also the personal life. There is proof that show that the level of employee and manager burns out have rise as the manager try to deal with the hybrid work. Hybrid work implies some important paradox in terms of organizational practice. For an example, hybrid work implies flexibility, yet in turn, this flexibility weakens the social cohesion and also the organizational identity within an organization, which result in the complexity of relations between employee retention, efficiency, and also the productivity. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Next, I will present the practical recommendation for improving talent retention in hybrid work. First is result-based evaluation. Companies should focus on KPIs instead of physical presence. This means employees are judged based on their result, not how long they stay at work. It is also important to ensure fair performance appraisal in hybrid work. Second is career development. Organizations should provide training and mentorship for all employees. This will help them improve their skill. At the same time, equal promotion opportunities must be given so every employee has a fair chance to grow. Third is well-being support. Companies should promote work-life balance policy. This can help reduce stress and prevent burnout. When employees are happy and healthy, they can work better. Lastly is communication system. Companies need to improve feedback and communication channel. Communication must be clear, open, and regular so employees always know what is happening in the organization. All these recommendations can help improve employee satisfaction and strengthen talent retention in hybrid work environment. Next, I will continue with practical recommendation, focusing on HR, professional, and leaders. We start with for HR professional. They need to shift to digital and result-based HR system. This means focusing on employee performance and result instead of physical presence. HR also need to adapt talent management strategy to support hybrid work. For leaders, they should avoid bias when evaluating employees. This is important to ensure fair assessment for everyone. Leaders also need to strengthen trust and provide psychological support to employees. In addition, hybrid work should be treated as a long-term working model, not just a temporary practice. In conclusion, talent retention plays an important role in reducing turnover costs and maintaining organization performance, especially in hybrid work environment. In hybrid work environment, employees value flexibility, career development, work-life balance, and strong organization support. However, although hybrid work offers many benefits, it also creates some challenges. These include communication gaps, feeling of isolation, and reduced employee connection. Talent retention is very important because it helps organizations reduce turnover costs and maintain strong performance, especially in hybrid work environment. Employee retention depends on several key factors. Employees stay longer when they are treated fairly, recognized for their work, given opportunity to grow, and support in terms of their mental and emotional well-being. To support this, organization needs to implement clear hybrid work policy so employees understand expectation. They should also use result-based performance evaluation, meaning employees are assessed based on their output, not physical presence. Strong communication and employee development programs are also important to support growth and connection. Successful talent retention requires balance. Organizations must balance flexibility with structure, autonomy with accountability, and employee engagement with long-term commitment. Overall, When organizations manage this element well, they can create a positive work environment that supports both employees' satisfaction and long-term organization success.